Hello and welcome to Find Your Freedom, a podcast dedicated to helping you truly find freedom in all aspects of life. Join your hosts and their expert guests as they share practical tips and strategies for finding more freedom in your life. It's time to take control of your life and create the future you want. Let's find your freedom. Here are your hosts, Lenny The Boss and Omid Rad Investor.
Boom, boom, boom. We are back with another episode of Find Your Freedom. And we have a great guest on today. And before we get into this guest, we always like to mention who sponsored this. And our sponsor is Wealth Builders Mortgage Group. Now, we like to talk about them because I use them, Omid used them. We tell all of our friends, all of our partners to use them. And for some crazy reason, it always work out. So regardless of your situation, if you're looking for a rental property, long-term, short-term rental, they really specialize in that. Or if you're just looking for a home for yourself or a vacation home, I'm telling you, Parker and her team will make sure they do any and everything they have to do to make sure that you get what you need to get that rental property or that vacation home. So with that being said, Wealth Builders Mortgage Group is where you want to go. All right, so our next guest here, he is a real estate professional. And he's also in residential and commercial contractor, and man, he's a real estate investor. Gotta love him. And the thing that really struck me well is I always loved this. He loved helping 9-to-5 employees, help them create passive income and income streams. So, Joao, how are you doing today and how are you feeling?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Look, man, we're gonna get into your story, get into, the things that you do. But before then, let us know, where you was born, how where you was raised at.
So I was born in Passaic, New Jersey. I moved down to the Carolinas maybe 5 years ago. So
Okay.
long, and just like everybody else, man. Just a standard 9 to 5 job and trying to work my way up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Just real quick, man, where at in New Jersey? I'm in New Jersey.
So I grew up in Passaic, New Jersey, maybe 30 minutes from Newark.
Okay. All right, cool. So you was up North Jersey.
Right, correct.
All right, got you, got you. All right, I was South Jersey. All right, cool. All right, man. So I guess tell us a little bit about your background.
So I'm a first generation here, born here. My parents came in here, looking for a better life and provide more things like that. I grew up in New Jersey, East Orange, so not the greatest area, but it was just all they could afford at that time. I went to school. My parents sacrificed everything they could to get me clothes, food, put me in a school system, and that's just pretty much all I knew. Go to school, get good grades, which I didn't, but get good grades, get a job, provide for yourself, and build your life. Kind of what they always wanted. I did that. Worked at a pharmacy company for many, many years. I want to say 16, 17. Just tried to work my way up that ladder. An employee to a supervisor, manager, and keep moving up, which it did happen. The only issue was eventually, I want to say something clicked randomly because I read a lot of books, read a lot of forums, and Rich Dad Poor Dad was the one that helped the most. And it just kind of clicked of, I'm never going to make enough to have the life I want. I'm never going to be able to go on as many vacations as I want, see different areas. Like obviously you can go in the US, Florida, California, things like that, but nothing international, nothing crazy, unless you save up for a good amount of time as a standard, worker. So I wanted to change. I wanted something different. I hated clocking in. I hated asking permission to, hey, can I have off next month these 3 days? No, John is off. Can you do your vacation at the time? I'd tell my whole family or friends, yeah, that doesn't work. Can we reschedule? There's just a lot that I didn't want anymore. And obviously I couldn't do anything about it because you need that income coming in. You need to keep it going. And it was hard. I mean, but to be fair to everybody else out there, real estate investing isn't easy either. I mean, that's hard as well. You got to pick your heart. Either bust your ass doing that, or you bust your ass working a 9 to 5. So just pick your heart. If you really want it, you're gonna find a way to do it. I worked after hours. I worked weekends. I worked, on holidays, doing the work myself until I got to a spot where I can sub it out or give it to somebody else while I got more deals. And it just took me a long time to get to where I am today. But that's a quick little background. Sorry, I went a little more.
Did you say you were in the pharmacy industry?
Yes.
Okay. No, were you a pharmacist?
No, no, I was just in a warehouse. I was a warehouse manager or a driver at first, worked my way up.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome.
Wow. Awesome. And then how long were you in that industry before you realized you wanted to change?
So wanting to get change, maybe 12 years, finding what that change was, an extra 5 years.
Okay. And how did you find that? How did that come to you?
So just pretty much my accountant pretty much said, my tax all over the place. I got to figure out what I'm doing. And she recommended to read Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I did. Read it again. The second time is when it all clicked and made sense. So I had a little bit of money saved up, not much, like 7, 8K. And I used that to buy my first rental property,
Awesome.
duplex, and then just saw what it can do. Bought another one the year later. And then what really spearheaded everything going so fast was going to a real estate conference and meeting hundreds of other investors, whether it be real estate, storage facilities, mobile homes, car washes. Everyone was doing something, and it was just different in a good way. So I've got a lot of personal friends. I got family that are just saying it's dangerous, it's risky, don't do it,
Yep.
and kind of
Yeah.
like making you not want to do it. But when you go to this event, everyone there has taken the risk, has taken that jump, and their only regret was not starting sooner. The great thing,
100%.
Mm.
I
yeah, the great
agree.
thing,
I'm in that boat. Yep. My only regret is not starting sooner. You too, Lenny?
I
Yeah.
got my hand up. Maybe I should put 2 because maybe not high enough. But
Yeah.
I agree. Listen, and environment means so much,
right?
and I relate to your story so much because mine's was a little different. I had a friend that was investing into real estate,
Right.
and he always came to me complaining. Oh man, the tenants, the roof, the toilet, something's leaking. Complain, complain, complain. So I never really took an interest into real estate because he complained so much. But I noticed that he would buy another property, him and his wife, they would buy another one, and they didn't have the best jobs. They didn't have like
Right.
high paying jobs. Then I saw them upgrade their cars. Then they start going on better vacations and they out eating at really nice restaurants. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing over here? I'm starting to think that they got some illegal activity action going on over here. And he was like, no, it's the real estate. And I'm like, what? Then he said, he apologized to me. He says, I'm sorry. He said, because you were my friend. So you are the individual that I always complain to.
Right.
Rather than
I bet too.
encouraging me to say, hey, you should be doing this too. So I definitely relate. But let's back this story up a little bit if you can.
Yeah.
And let's go into, the area of education where you said rich dad, poor dad in that moment. So can you take us back to that moment where your accountant, I think you mentioned, said, hey, here's a book. I think you'll find some value in it. How did you receive that, from your accountant? I don't know who that was, if it was your friend or just a person that you're paying to do your taxes. But how did you receive that? And then two, what really made you go home and read that book?
So she's a friend. I've known her for Jesus, going on a decade now. So,
Okay.
and she always knew I was always looking for different ways to get out of the rat race, what they call it, or get out of the job or do different things. And she said, you might like this book. Like, this guy's got a lot of ideas, see how it fits, and, try it out. So I looked it up. Obviously, I said, yeah, I'll read it, no problem. It took me a few months to actually get it and read it. So when I read it, it made a lot of sense, the way they shifted your mindset. I grew up in a very poor family, so whenever we went to stores or whatnot, and I wanted something, as a kid, I want that toy, I want that hat, whatever. It was, we can't afford it, or no, it's too much, or this. So right away, my mind shut off of, we just can't get it. One of the first things they teach you in there is to shift that and kind of remove that from your head, and instead of saying no, I can't get it, just say, well, how can I get it? So your mind goes from no, closed door, to maybe I work on the weekends, maybe I pick up a side job, maybe I do this. Like, you start thinking of different ways to get what you need and think outside the box. So just having that different mindset it was amazing. I mean, it's all about real estate, the same thing. Like, you just mentioned tenants, something's going to happen. Do you just say, oh, well, the HVAC went out, I'm going to sell it, I'm out? Or all right, well, I got to get it fixed. Do I get a new part? Do I get a remodeled part? For my next one, do I just change out the whole system? You start to
Mhm.
think of, what could you do differently to make it better going forward? Or what are the fixes to do it? So just got to shift the mindset first. And that was the biggest thing for me, getting that mindset differently of, I want to go to Europe. Okay. Well, it costs this much. I want to do these things. How can I get it? And then just start figuring out a plan.
Awesome.
That's awesome. And how long ago, when did you get started in real estate?
I'd say like 6 years ago is when I
Okay.
started my own properties, because I did work for other people, or I still do some work for other investors now. But getting my own stuff started
Yeah.
not too long ago, and meeting partners was the biggest scale that I've done so far.
Okay. And I think I saw, so you own some of your own investment properties and you're also a general contractor. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So how does that all work together?
So pretty much I manage all my own properties, or if I'm in a partnership with other people, like we bought a 12 unit last year, a 54 unit end of last year. So all the construction falls on me. They give me the budget of what we need per apartment. We go and get it done as quick as possible within the budget, and just make it make sense. I mean, one of the biggest, if not the biggest thing I hear all the time from investors is something went wrong, or they're on their third contractor, someone didn't show up, they took the money and left, just something
Wah, wah,
like
wah,
that.
right.
And that's one of the biggest things. A lot of investors, they don't have that. And not speaking at all general contractors, but if you don't speak the language, they can smell that a mile away.
Yes.
And
Mm.
this $1,000 bid, well, guess what? When I open the wall, this, and you know, it can add up. So I
Yes.
always try to urge people to learn a little bit of language. You don't have to be an HVAC expert, plumbing expert, electric expert, but understand the basics of it. Understand what you need. Build that relationship with somebody that knows what you're doing. Like I
Mhm.
send my HVAC guy now on any job. I don't have to question him. I know he's doing it the right way. He knows if I ever do audit and find something wrong, I'll go somewhere else. So they don't want to risk that. But you also got to make sure you're doing your due diligence as well.
Right.
So make sure you're doing that.
Th-
And
that's important. And it's funny that you say that because that's one of the key things that I do. And I don't know a lot about anything. And it all started for me at my house. I never wanted a contractor to come in if I'm having an electrical issue or a plumbing issue or any issue, a carpentry issue. I didn't want them to come in and, just start talking over my head. So I used to learn some keywords, and I'll never forget, my cousin points this out all the time. So when I was getting my basement redone,
right,
or done, I should say, I had the electrician come in and I was like, yeah, man, I want some home runs from here to there. And I'm sitting here talking, you know, so what that does, and that's the only word I really knew, but what that does is he said to himself, oh, this guy knows a little bit, because home run is not just like your typical, term. Home run is like, a direct
electrical
line.
firm,
And if you
right,
saying a home run, then you know something. So now they give it to me straight, but I always find, and I have to say, for the listeners or for all you two is my best friend, I always find those key words to say where I can make sure that they don't happen to come in and try to
right,
outbid me. Or tell me this is what they're gonna have to do, because they have to keep it straight with me. If I'm telling them, yeah, give me a home run from this pump, directly here, this bathroom, I want a home run because it's a flush up toilet, and the last thing you want to do is have
right.
some mess in your toilet and it can't get out because your wife upstairs blow drying her hair and it trips. That'd be a shitty situation if you know what I'm saying. you know, but hey man, let's get into your first deal, like, because our audience are a lot of individuals that are new. So we're at the point where you had that mindset shift, and reading this book, it started to shift your mind. So now your mind is shift. You said you had some money saved up, which wasn't a fortune, just to let all of our
Right.
listeners know, wasn't a fortune, but you had some. And so what like bring us back to that moment. Okay, cool, your mind shift already. You want to jump into this real estate thing. What was your next steps? What did you do?
Have to find a property. So that's one of the biggest things there, because even today it's so competitive out there, but finding that property was the biggest thing. I didn't know anything about wholesaling, things like that. So I went on the MLS. look for properties that were, keywords investment or for sale by owner, things like that. In hindsight, I didn't buy in the best area, but it was a decent area. So I bought that property, met the owner, and just ran the numbers and saw it could make sense for me. I wasn't making much money at all, and just called a realtor. They have little, what do you call it, advertisement at the bottom. So I called the realtor up, wanted to see it. Just threw a number at him, lower than what he asked. He took it, so I bought it, and just basically just painted it, and because it was livable, but I didn't learn the burn method until a year later. So I just rented it out, got it filled, made a couple $100 a month, and I was okay. The minute that HVAC went, though, that profit for 6, 7 months is gone.
Yep.
So I was right back to square one. But it was in my mind, okay, well now it's fixed. Now I can be okay. Then it was, someone moved out, they made damage, reset again. So and then I learned the burn method. I went to my first real estate conference and learned you got to follow the comps in the area, make everything pretty much modern, brand new. So I got new cabinets, new countertops, a new bathroom, new LVP flooring, all waterproof. And then the rent went from 800 to like $1,400.
Boom.
That's
Yeah.
when the value went up a lot.
Yeah.
So then I was able to take money out and buy the next one, do the same thing. The rent was $800, brought it up
All
to
right, cool.
14.
Just for our listeners, when you say take the money out, can you explain that?
So I would refi. So I like, for example, one property I've got now, I bought it for $72,000. It's in Gaffney, South Carolina. I spent maybe $50,000 renovating it, so I'm in 130. But before I bought it, I knew if I bring it up to today's standards for renting it out, it'll be worth 260.
Okay.
So, and I ran my comps hard. Like this guy has granite countertops, so I need to make sure I have granite. I'm not going to buy quartz, a higher material, because it's better. If the area doesn't call for it, there's no reason to waste money on it.
Say it again, brother. Say
Yeah,
it
I gotta
again.
follow the comps always. That's the biggest thing. So I
Yep.
followed the comps, did that. I'm all in for 150, 160 maybe. By the time I'm done, and I only spent out of my pocket 17,000 to buy it, to get the construction loan. That was my down payment. The bank covered the rest of it. And after it's all said and done, I'm walking away with 52,000. So I get my money back plus equity that I built in there, and it's still making money monthly. So that's the BRRRR method. You buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat.
Yep.
So I'm essentially getting paid to have that property and go get the next one.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I know you're a general contractor. Do you come to East Tennessee by any chance?
I'm actually looking for an Airbnb in the Tennessee area, so maybe.
Well, let me know. I'm in the Smokies, so let me know. And I do actually have a big project that we need to get done. But I'll tell you, it's what I call our oops property. We need to knock it down and rebuild it. We've got 8 short-term rentals, and we live in the Smokies. But yeah, this one. But I'll tell you, like to your point about general contractors, and my husband speaks the language, a lot of the language, but I get nervous because I don't even know where to start sometimes with it. Like we have to knock this thing down. There's demolition. Then we've got to talk to an architect, and it's overwhelming because you hear so many stories out there. So,
Yeah.
what would your advice be for somebody? Because I'm sure there's other people in these shoes. What would your advice be?
To make friends with the general contractor, regardless where they are, and kind of run the plans for them. I've got a buddy I met at the last conference a few months ago. He's in Texas. I'm not licensed in Texas, but he'll send me his plans, ask my recommendations, what do I think, and I'll tell him what it is. And he goes from it. He just had a project, a brand new duplex built.
Okay.
He already got the cement poured. He got all the water, the electric, the
Yep,
HVAC ready to
yep,
go. Foundation poured. So next is the framing. He got all that done. You can look at it. You can look at the contract. Look at it. Like it makes sense. Do you trust this guy? He's like, yeah, good recommendations, and this is the price, a little high and all that. One thing the framer did leave out was the dead wood. So he'll frame everything, but when he's done, the drywaller comes in. He's got almost nowhere to hang up his drywall. There's no extra wood on the sides or the back to hang up his drywall.
Okay.
And framers include it, some do not. So I told him make sure you add that piece in because you pay this guy all his money. He's done physically on paper on contract. He's done, and your drywaller has 200 sheets sitting there. They can't hang it up. You got to get them to come
Wow.
back out and make sure you add it in there. So
Okay.
it's going to take long to add. So
Yeah. And those
yeah,
are the little things that can just throw something way
yeah,
off, right? Yeah.
exactly. Another thing I told him that I started doing recently is for the remodels, get like a can of spray paint. The floor is going to get changed at the end anyway.
Yeah.
Spray that 30-inch stove, 24-inch dishwasher, just spray paint it, kind of do a walkthrough because it looks good on paper, but once you have it built out,
Yep.
it may not look the best. So spray it. My biggest issue, the two trades that always fight are the electricians and the drywallers
Really?
because they will make their boxes and then the drywall will cover it up and he's got to find it, make more holes, and
Oh, okay.
he's got to
Yeah.
pay me. He's got to do that. And I was like, all right. I talked to my other buddy who's been doing it longer than me. He said, go to Amazon, buy these little green things that have a spike on it. Put them all in his boxes. So when the drywaller pushes it, it breaks right through his drywall. They know where their stuff's on.
Oh, that's
I
smart.
was like, all right,
Interesting.
$10 for that. Good to go. Because
That's
I like
smart.
that you think ahead like that. I like that.
yeah, I came with a lot of headaches before. Like he's like, hey, I'm missing a box here, here, here. It's gonna be this much more. Good luck telling the drywaller, hey, you got to pay him for that. He's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
He's not having it. You know,
Yeah,
I had this one property where we gutted the property, say we redoing the
right.
property, and we got to the bathroom. And they like, oh, Lynn, come check it out. Bathroom's about done. So I go in the bathroom and I'm looking and I'm saying, man, bathroom looks beautiful, but something ain't right. And I couldn't figure it out. So I'm like, something's not right about this bathroom. I mean, the tallest grate, the vanity, the tile around the wall, everything was precise. And I'm like, but something's not right. I went home, went to sleep, and I woke up probably like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, jumped up out my bed and said, I got it. My wife is like, what in the world is wrong with you? I said, there's no water spout for the tub. They covered it up.
Oh,
And yeah, so I go back and I'm like, where's the spout? So they was like, oh, I thought you just wanted a shower. I said, who the crap want a shower when you got a tub? you know, you got and I said, and what we brought is a tub shower combination,
right.
so thinking about those things, they covered it up, right? So they had to obviously open up a couple of the tiles to, bring out the water spout. But it goes in line with the sheetrocker coming in and doing what? Just
Right.
trying to get the job done. That's what they're really
Just
trying to
going.
do. I mean, 200 sheets is a lot of sheets. It's a lot of lifting and it's a lot of screws, and everybody works off of time, right?
Yeah.
So they're just in there trying to get the job done. And truth be told is, hate to say it, we all know they can care less about the other contractor, right? Especially if they're not on the same team, unfortunately. So I guess tell us, a little more about what you're doing, today and where you stand and what your portfolio looks like.
So started with the one property and I was moving up kind of slow. Not, I mean, it's fine being slow. It's just I was very all eggs in my basket. So my mind was, it took me years to save up 8, 9K. No one's going to lose it. If I lose it, it's on me, but I'm not going to share it with somebody else and then lose it because it's someone else's issue. So I would scale up slowly, one property a year pretty much. Went to the real estate conference because I realized I need to meet other people because they've probably gone through what I have gone through or what I will go through and can save each other, or I can tell them what I've gone through and help them out. So it worked amazingly. I've got so many new friends that motivate and push and give advice and different things they're doing, and vice versa. I did the same for them. So going there, I met my partners today, and that's how we were able to buy the 12 unit in Kernersville, North Carolina, followed by a 54 unit in Mount Airy.
Oh,
We're half done with the 54 unit, 12 units already been done, and just being able to scale up faster. That brings me to today to 92 doors, and the goal is another 50 or 60 for end of the year, and just keep building from there. I mean, I'm still buying my properties on the side, um, and just keep building up. I mean, if I really want it, I'm gonna find a way to get it. My biggest issue is finding the deals that make sense for me because you got a lot of wholesalers out there that'll say this deal is great, you want this, the numbers
Yep.
just don't make sense. So always make
mm,
sure you do your due diligence. Just because it's for sale and they put fancy words and nice pictures, you got to do your own diligence on that because saw one yesterday. It was selling for purchase price was 140,
Okay.
ARV was 180, and it needed a lot of reno. I was like, what are you doing? Like, you're not going to make anything on this. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not the way it works. But Some wholesalers are new, some just want what they can get. So, but you got to protect yourself. Make sure you do your research, ask around, and that's all you can do. Just ask. The worst thing you can do is go in there blind and put yourself in a bad spot.
Right. Have you gotten into short-term rentals or just long-term?
Not yet. That is the goal, to get Airbnbs and things like that. I want to diversify and get more rental properties. Like I'm looking at storage units. I'm looking at mobile home parks. I want to get I think it's for a second home, it's 10% down versus the usual 20.
Well, it
So
is.
yeah, so that's
I'm
that's what I'm looking at now.
I
And
I'm Wealth Builders Mortgage Group, the person Lenny was talking about
okay,
at first. So I specialize. So yeah, so that's why I'm a little fun with
mm,
you there. But yes,
that's not
10% for a second home. That's correct.
I was looking in the Tennessee area, like a lake house or something I can drive to and hang out with and also make some money. I've just never been good at staging and things like that. Design is not where I shine at all. Give me a plan and we'll get it done, but tell me to design it, it's not the best choice there.
Yeah.
I'm a clearance section kind of guy. So,
Okay.
whichever floors on clearance, what I get. But learning from that, that's no longer the way. We got to get LVP, waterproof click lock. Forget what colors are in now. It's like a beige and a green. So follow the trends for now. I mean, if it's for flip, whatever's in now, if it's
Yep.
going to be a long-term hold, it's going to be something that will always come back. So like the white and subway tile, things like that.
Oh yeah.
But that's somewhere I did not do well in. So I've got partners that do good design and have, buying, what was it, like an old picture frame, like the ones that hang outside, is in a living room somewhere. That's in, I guess.
That's
So
it. Okay. How do
yeah,
you feel
things like
about
that.
concrete floors? Stained
So
concrete.
it depends. I Depends on the concrete
You talk
floors.
like the epoxy?
Or the stain, there's an actual stain. So in a couple of houses in the Florida Panhandle too. So we did one. Well, I've just loved stained concrete for a long time, but we did one like the color of the emerald green coastal water and a stain in the concrete. So it looked really cool. But I just feel like concrete in general is easy to maintain too.
It definitely is. The only thing with concrete is it can hold moisture and things like that and come up. So always put some kind of barrier on it.
Okay.
Which type you get too. So that's why you always got to use the treated wood, because those things will bring up moisture here and there, humidity, things like that can cause
Okay.
it to come out more. So I always put some kind of barrier over it, put LVP or something on there. Garages, I mean, that's a garage. You're not living there, you're not staying there.
Sure.
So just depends on where you put it.
Okay. Fair enough. I didn't know about the retaining moisture thing.
There you go. See, you learning something right now. Make sure you jot that down so you don't forget.
Oh, I was thinking about concrete floors for my new project. I might have to rethink that.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So where you headed? Man, let us know, what's on the plate. One of the things that you mentioned was helping other people. It's like, what's
Yes.
why? Like what's the passion behind that?
So the why is pretty much because I grew up in a very poor area. I didn't have much money, and I'm very stubborn, I guess you could call it, where I don't like asking for help from anybody. I never really did, but if I ever did ask someone, they need to understand that it took a lot. I've turned over every book I can. I've turned over every stone, and it's my last resort. So I know that feeling of when you need help and people would just turn their back on you, and it's a shitty feeling. Sorry, we can't curse. Um, I just know that feeling of wanting to do more than not being able to do it and not being shown or taught. So, and again, a lot of people don't have money. I get that. I was in the same boat. So when I meet brand new people and they ask me, how can I help? How can I do things? Obviously, they have no construction experience, so I can't put them on the field to work. It's not good for me insurance wise. It's not good for them at all. They can walk with me, learn, take notes. They can go take pictures for me, do material runs, whatever they want, and they can be included in how I'm running things, how I'm telling my guys to do things, why I chose this material over that, what to look for when a wall's open or when you're doing plumbing, things like that. And a lot of them take me up on that offer. I mean, I've got a call with a buddy tomorrow who wants to go through 3 properties he wants to buy and just kind of walk through the materials or walk through why he needs something, what is his contractor not telling him, things like that, and just be able to give back as much as I can. So I know what it's like to not come from money. I'm very thankful and grateful for what I have today. It's funny you were mentioning your buddy complaining about tenants and all that, which I do as well.
Uh-oh.
Um, but the last time I did it, I was with, my father on a boat I bought fishing, and I'm complaining, And it's just like, oh well, I'm complaining on a lake on a boat, so I think I'm doing all right. Um,
Right.
it just depends, you know.
I-
So it's just how you look at it, and it was just eye opening because we didn't have much, and he was very grateful. And looking back at the last few years, I was able to take him on multiple international trips, see the world with him.
Oh, that's great.
My sister
That's
takes
cool.
my mom, and then being able to just have a good life and knock on wood, keep doing more because I'm not where I think I peaked at all. Actually signed up for HVAC school 2 weeks ago because I
Oh,
want to be able to pull that back into my projects, pull all the permits, add more value that
Um,
way, and
yeah,
then you know just save more money overall and bring it in house.
that's really
that's
cool.
awesome.
So
That's awesome.
as a general contractor, you're not able to pull like HVAC permits?
Not an HVAC permit, not a specific trade. So I pull the overall permit for the house, saying
Okay.
I'm taking responsibility for this whole house, the framing, the foundation, all that. And I'm
Okay.
bringing in my electrician, my plumber, my HVAC
Most stuff
guy.
is
They pull their permits under my main permit.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Gotcha. Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
are
Gotcha.
you remodeling or building from the ground up?
So I've always done remodels, and the next step is now doing new construction from the ground up.
Okay.
I thought it was easier to do remodels. Turns out it's harder. So I didn't know that. Talking with all the buddies, they're like, "Listen, new construction is a lot easier because everything fits the way it should fit. Everything is
Mm,
brand new."
yeah.
Versus remodels, you have to alter. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if it's to code today. You got to fix it. You got to break walls or break insulation, and you're doing double the work. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. The window's going to fit every single time.
Yeah.
Versus the wood's rotted, it's the house shifted, and you know. So
Yeah.
that is the next step.
I
Can
can't
I send
recall
my
this guy's
husband to
name.
you to learn? I mean, he
By
knows a
all
lot
means,
already, but I think he can know some better stuff if he hangs
He
out with
said
you.
he let people come through the
I
walkthrough,
know, I
and
know. He speaks Spanish, if it
so
helps.
very good. In this industry, you got to speak Spanish.
Well, that's what he did. So you might get a kick out of this. We did 2 major remodels in the Florida Panhandle, and it was during COVID when everybody was slammed. So my husband, he grew up in Mexico, but he would go pick people off of the multi-million-dollar beachfront houses, workers, to come and do our remodel. So he was our non-official GC then, but
There you go.
and
he
some would
sounds
work out.
official to me.
Yeah, I mean, so some would work
Drop the
out, some would
nine.
stop
He's
showing up.
official
But
GC.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. You can GC your own projects as a homeowner. Just got to sign the paperwork.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Although that's kinda dangerous if you don't know what you're doing, I imagine.
Right. A lot of states, if you do your own work, they make sure you can't sell the property for a year or two after it's done, just to
Interesting.
make sure if something goes wrong, you're going to fix it. That's the assumption.
Hey, that's
Well,
fair, I kinda like that. Yeah.
I'm GCing my own work right now. I'm actually I don't know why I decided to do this. Sometimes I wake up, my wife looks at me and just be like, whatever. But I woke up saying, you know what? Rather than hire somebody, I'm going to extend our deck. So right now I'm GC. I literally got delivered all my deck boarding and all my treks. So I'm the only thing I gotta do, I gotta put my I dug the hole. I had rented a oh Parker, wait till you see these videos. I rented the auger, right? So I'm drilling the holes in the ground 4 feet, right? I put the little Soho tube in,
Oh,
did the
shit.
we rented the concrete thing. We out there like 10 o'clock at night. We making concrete. 10 o'clock I got a spotlight outside. You should see me. Y'all guys would be proud of me. Say, this guy really knows what he's doing, you know? I got the spotlight out. It's 10 o'clock at night. My neighbors peeking out their window, like, what the crap is this guy's doing? And we pouring concrete in the holes, you know? And so we had put 5 holes in there. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So now I just got to put the structural post on, pop them suckers in, and then I'm ready, Parker. I'm telling you, I'm extending this deck 12, 10, 10 and a half by 12.6.
Okay. I
Yeah,
think
girl.
I think before it comes step on that, I need to have Joao check it out, make sure so
No, I just got 2 years. Joel just said it's 2 years.
too.
We could know this thing ain't going nowhere. I didn't had 6 people bounce on this thing. Like this, I super secured it. Like if a inspector comes and look at it, he'll probably be like, why is you wasting so much money? I got security everywhere on this thing. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But hey, we got a question for you.
Yeah.
What does find your freedom means to you?
So finding the freedom, that one took me a long time to kind of realize what freedom meant to me. And it was basically, if I want, what's today, Monday? If I want to leave Thursday, Friday to go to Florida or on a trip, I don't have to save up. I don't have to ask permission from a job. I don't have to pretty much ask anyone. I can just say, you know what, I'm leaving because I want to. I want to take off a few days. I'm just going to go. So be able to build that fund in the back, just, obviously always cover your expenses for at least 6 months, have that fund just in case something goes wrong, but be able to not even have to worry about look at my account or save up or put in a credit card, and be able to say, I can go take my family to a nice dinner. We can go on a trip. We can go buy something I need and not have to worry or sacrifice something else or do something crazy. That's what freedom was for me, of not having to sell something or work extra or do this and that, just being able to build that. And we never had that growing up. So yeah, being able to pay for my father to go on these trips it brought us a lot closer. So seeing him happy and us talking and just relaxing it was great.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
That's great, man. That's
Yes.
great. Listen, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to listen to this episode, and they're going to relate a lot with everything that you mentioned, from, just, hey, got a job, working real hard at the job, working myself up, and then figure it out, hey, this ain't where I want to be, to getting a mindset shift and getting to other things that's bringing joy. And also up to the last point where you said, hey, it's bringing you and your father closer to one another, which is awesome. I guess, how can people reach out? How can people get in contact with you?
So the easiest way would be through Instagram. I mean, that's one of the ones I watch all those funny videos all the time. So I'm on that a lot. It's my first name, JOAO, beginning of my last name, MAC_STF. And just send a message or schedule a call or send an email, whatever they want to do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, man, we're about to end the show. This was really great. So much value here. And what we like to do is we like to have this big boom session. So what I'm going to do on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, we're going to say boom in a uniform manner as loud as we can. So if I can get some thumbs up, look at the monitor here. I get some thumbs up. Make sure you're ready. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Boom! Awesome, 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 awesome. Check this out. We just had a fantastic episode with Joao. And I'm going to tell you, what's great about this episode is Joao is no different than you, no different than me. He grew up not with the silver spoon in his mouth at all. He had to work for everything that he got. And the biggest thing and the biggest lesson here was just basically a mindset shift of understanding, look, how can I get things? How can I go about this? And with that mindset shift, now that puts him in a place to be in an environment to learn from others, also taking action. And these are all the things you want to make sure that you do. All right. And for us to continue to bring on guests just like Joao, we need you to leave an honest 5-star review. We also need you to share this. We need you to share this with all your friends, all your coworkers, the ones that you like, the ones that you don't like. Until the next episode of Find Your Freedom, we talk to you soon. Peace.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Find Your Freedom. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. While you're at it, please help us spread the word by leaving a rating and review and sharing the podcast with friends, family, and colleagues. Until next time, get out there and find your freedom.